This is its financial history too, where money's past reveals tomorrow's truth. They say pandemics destroy nations, but the Black Death did something far stranger. It made new empires. Because while half of Europe was dying, the other half was inheriting everything they left behind. Welcome to its financial history too. It's one of the darkest ironies in economic history. Tragedy may kill millions, but it almost never kills opportunity. And the Black Death was no exception. Between 1347 and 1351, the plague ripped through Europe and North Africa with a ferocity humanity had never witnessed. Entire towns vanished. Noble families disappeared overnight. Half of Europe's population simply ceased to exist. But beneath the horror, beneath the mass graves, empty streets, and silent churches, something else was happening quietly. Wealth was changing hands on a scale so massive that modern recessions look insignificant by comparison. Old elites collapsed. Entire dynasties died out. Banking houses vanished. And into the vacuum stepped new families, new power brokers, who built fortunes from a world that had been shattered. It feels almost obscene to say it. During a pandemic that killed tens of millions, some people walked away richer, more powerful, and more influential than ever. But this is the uncomfortable reality of economic history. When a system breaks, someone always picks up the pieces. And the Black Death didn't just break systems. It erased them. A world with no heirs, no banks, and no competition. The plague didn't just kill peasants and merchants. It killed heirs. It wiped out landowners. It destroyed banking families that had dominated Europe for generations. Entire sectors of society were left without successors, and when wealth loses its owners, new owners step forward. Not because they're villains, but because the incentives of a collapsing world make ambition irresistible. This is where our story truly begins. Florence, a city of survivors and opportunists. As Europe reeled from the plague, Florence emerged as one of the most transformed cities. Traditional banking dynasties like the Bardi and Peruzzi had been weakened by debt, death, and economic instability. Into that void stepped a relatively unknown banker, Giovanni de' Medici. Not noble, not powerful, just perfectly positioned. In 1397, right after plague waves had destabilized Florence, he founded the Medici Bank. With rivals gone or crippled, the Medici secured contracts that would have been unimaginable before, including managing the finances of the papacy. No plague, no Medici Empire. No Medici Empire, no Renaissance as we know it. Milan, the Visconti and the art of inheriting power. While Florence birthed bankers, Milan produced conquerors. The Visconti family didn't merely survive the plague, they weaponized it. Noble families died without heirs, and their lands reverted upward. Gian Galeazzo Visconti expanded Milan's territory faster than any medieval ruler, not through war alone, but through inheritance collapses. In a world with fewer nobles every month, being next in line became less about luck and more about probability. England, the silent rise of the new gentry across England. The plague reshaped society from the ground up. Families like the Pastons, de la Poles, Nevilles and Stanleys rose not by conquest or birthright, but by buying land cheap, inheriting abandoned estates, and stepping into roles traditionally reserved for long-standing noble lines. This new gentry class would help shape England's political landscape for centuries. The Hanseatic League, merchants who understood scarcity. Far to the north, the Hanseatic League, a network of merchant cities, recognized opportunity in chaos. Grain shortages, price spikes, collapsing trade networks. While others went bankrupt, Hanseatic merchants expanded their fleets, monopolized essential goods, and sold resources at enormous profits to crippled cities in Western Europe. In a world where half the workers had vanished, they became indispensable. The church, the institution that could not die. Then there were the institutions that gained wealth simply because they didn't rely on heirs. Monasteries and church orders absorbed land from dying families, took donations from terrified survivors, and inherited vast estates from nobles seeking salvation. The church didn't just pray through the plague. It profited through it. The unspoken winners, ordinary workers. But the most unexpected beneficiaries weren't bankers or nobles. They were workers. For the first time in centuries, labor was scarce, and scarcity gives power. Wages rose. Serfs negotiated rights or simply walked away. Guilds opened their doors. Social mobility surged. Parliament even tried to stop rising wages with the Statute of Laborers. And failed. It wasn't a golden age, but for common people, it was the closest medieval Europe ever came to one. The real lesson: crisis doesn't destroy wealth, it rearranges it. If the Black Death teaches us anything, it's this: disasters don't create equality, they create opportunity for those ready to seize it. We saw the same pattern in 2008. We saw it again during COVID-19. And we will see it in every future collapse. The Black Death didn't just kill half of Europe. It reshaped the entire hierarchy of European wealth and power. It cleared the stage, and new players stepped forward. If this gave you a new perspective on crisis economics, don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. History has the answers, and here, we follow the money to find them.